Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday the 22nd of September 2018 and we are providing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 21st of September. Gold rose $5 last week from $1,194 to $1,199, having hit a high of $1,210 and a low of $1,192. In sterling terms, gold finished the week at £917, up £4, and in euros it closed at €1,021, down €6 on the week. Silver rose 23 cents, from $14.07 to $14.30, having hit a high of $14.42 and a low of $14.05. In sterling terms, it closed at £10.94. That's up 17 pence. And in euros, it closed at €12.17. That's up 0.06 euros. The gold to silver ratio fell a full 1 point, from 84.86 to 1 to 83.84 to 1. The Dow Jones closed on Friday at 26,743. up 86 points on the day and up 589 points on the week. And the Nasdaq closed at 7,986, down 41 points on the day and down 24 points on the week. Brent crude rose 71 cents from $78.09 to $78.80, and US light crude rose $1.79 from $68.99 to $70.78. The dollar index stands at 94.22. That's down 0.70 on the week. We ended last week's video with the comment, quote, "This coming week we again see gold and silver range bound, and frankly they should be modestly positive," unquote, with the caveat to watch the dollar. Well, again, this is what happened, and the dollar weakened slightly and gold and silver rose, albeit modestly. Now, to be fair, gold strengthened from the beginning of last week's opening, but fell away somewhat on Friday. It is incredibly range-bound within an $18 parameter. Normally at this time of year, we would expect to see gold strengthen quite significantly, and it does not seem to be happening, and it appears to rest comfortably at that $1,200 level. Now, chartists or technical analysts say that if it breaks above the $1,225 level, it will quickly move to $1,250 and then $1,300. On the opposite side, they also claim that if it breaches $1,175, it will rapidly fall to $1,100, and frankly, they are in two minds as to which direction it is heading. Silver also came out of the gate stronger last week and maintained a degree of momentum again until Friday. What impressed us about silver, to be totally frank, is how strong that $14 floor appears to be. And the question everyone is asking is, can that level be breached, or are we now heading towards $15 silver again? Now, our listeners are aware that we are still more bearish short term than bullish. But frankly, very long term, we are exceedingly bullish silver. And this is the schizophrenic nature of what we are doing on this channel. We are constantly fighting our innate desire to see gold and silver rise, because that is where we believe it should be long term, against our analysis, which has, for the past 4 years, suggested short term decline in prices. What most traders currently are in agreement with is that this is still all about the dollar. And with a volatile president in the White House following strategies, if not policies, which are not fully predictable, as others have done in the past, makes any potential short-term predictions incredibly difficult to confirm or be certain about. That said, this is an extremely important week ahead of us. On Tuesday, we have the Consumer Confidence Index for September. Wednesday, an important day as we get the FOMC announcement on interest rates and Jerome Powell's press conference at 2:30. Thursday, GDP revision for Q2 and durable good orders for August, and Friday, consumer consumption for August, core inflation for August, and consumer sentiment for September. So this is a very important week for the dollar and therefore precious metal prices. Now, if you take anything from this video this week, we ask you to take this. The Fed would like to see rates rise to 3% before next year is out. With inflation already at its 2% target, we are confident they will raise rates this week. Now, the regional Fed governors have gone on the record stating that rates are also likely to rise in December and have indicated that another 2 rises are due next year as well. If the economy continues to grow at or above 4% and unemployment remains low, then this is what will happen. The Fed has to rain down on inflation, and ironically, and many people miss this, trade tariffs on imported goods actually increases costs and therefore inflation. And so this has an impact on Fed's policy. Now, providing these factors remain in place and nothing intervenes to affect it, then one can see a continuingly strong dollar into next year and its commensurate effect on gold and silver prices. In other words, all things being equal, we should see strong economic growth, rising interest rates and dollar, and lower gold and silver prices. Now, this is a little superficial, but the methodology is pretty clear. However, emerging market crises and potentially low growth in Europe and the negative effects on trade that tariffs potentially have could cause the Fed to rethink its strategy on interest rates and just delay their rise by a few months. Now, we still believe that this week is baked in and December is 90% certain, but a lot can happen between now and December, such as midterm elections in the US, and we shall know the ramifications of President Trump's risky strategy on trade negotiations by imposing tariffs first. So what we hope to glean on Wednesday is not so much the rate rise decision per se, though if there were not a rise, then we will see the dollar fall dramatically, but what comments Jerome Powell makes about future rates. If he is hawkish and says that the US is on track for higher rates in December, then we shall see a dollar rise and a fall in gold and silver prices. If he says that the future is uncertain and is quite dovish, then the opposite will occur. Now, we accept there are many other factors which affect precious metal prices. However, most agree it's all about the dollar. And as we all know, paper trading dictates prices currently, and therefore sentiment is all important. So our prediction for this week is let's wait and see what Jerome Powell says on Wednesday. We think he will be moderately hawkish. However, he cannot overplay his hand, as he will not wish to roll back anything he says in a month or so time. And for those of you awaiting our COT report training part 2, we are still in the progress of putting it together, and it will be published tomorrow on Sunday without fail. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on Twitter. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe as a free member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice, and merely represent the personal views of its owners.